But man, this throttle is like just so wonky, so flabby. Today I'm on a Super Chief Limited to be exact. Today I just wanted to test this out because in the Harley line, I love the Heritage Classic. And I believe this is kind of like Indian's competitor to the Heritage Classic, so I just wanted to see. So first things first, this guy comes with the Thunderstroke 116. So 120 foot-pounds of torque, lots of power to move this 714-pound motorcycle along. So for the Super Chief, this is kind of like Indian's small little, touring machine. On the Chief platform, so you get the Thunderstroke 116 on this bike, but it comes stock with these bags. It comes stock with a 4-gallon tank, large floorboards, forward controls, beach bars. So immediately I'm thinking, hey, this is really nicely set up for long distance riding, right? You don't have the huge weight of the baggers on these. So I would say one of the benefits of getting a bike like this, the Super Chief Limited, versus say a Challenger or a Chieftain, is just the weight savings, obviously. This bike comes in about 714 pounds, feels a lot more flickable, feels very nice and smooth, still very planted, and you still get the ride command, even though it's not like a large screen. So you can literally take this bike and tour. Comes with the leather saddlebags in the back. It's not going to have as much storage capacity as the other baggers from Indian, but it's still very capable of doing some long distance traveling here. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the ergonomics. I love the ergonomics on this guy. Very large floorboards, and this has a heel shifter as well. So kind of cool, not used to that. I don't know how I feel about these beach style cruiser bars, but it's kind of growing on me. It reminds me a little bit of like the Fat Boy. Very leisurely, kind of like a posture, sitting straight up, and I'm coming in at 5'8". My arms are at a really nice, relaxed state or stance, and I feel very upright. There's no like discomfort whatsoever on my body, right? I'm not hunched forward. I can just sit straight up, and I'm coming in at 5'8", and I love the fact that I can flat foot this bike too. So even for shorter riders, I think you'll find a lot to love about the Super Chief Limited. But one thing I'm not really liking is this delay on the throttle. I might have to switch it up to sport mode to see what that's like. But there is a little bit of a delay with the throttle that's kind of messing me up. Oh man, these bumps, they feel like nothing. Feel like nothing on this. With the Super Chief or the Super Chief Limited and the Heritage Classic, like, I had this misconception, right? I judged the book by its cover. Looking at this bike, it looks like an old school bike, right? Like a very classic looking machine, and some people like that. For me, I'm a little bit younger, so I tend to gravitate towards a little bit more modern looking cruisers. But once I tried out the Heritage Classic, I was sold. I was like, man, this is one of the most comfortable Harleys. That's probably true for the Super Chief Limited too. It just has a slightly different setup, but it's still very comfortable, very capable, and still very nimble. For a bike of this size, how flickable it feels, it's really surprising. And if you just want to cruise in a straight line, like, to chill out and just cruise, that's totally fine with this bike too. But if you want to get into some bendies or twisties, like, this bike has no problem with that. Let's test it out here. Oh man, that feels really good. I don't know if this windshield comes stock, but I do really like it. If you're gonna crush some miles, you definitely need a windshield, at least in my opinion. And I think overall, it just adds to a really nice look. If you're gonna look like a classic bike, just own it, right? Just own it and lean into it. I think it kind of has its own charm. And there's definitely some modern features to this bike that makes it kind of like a sleeper bike a little bit, The looks will kind of fool you into thinking this is an old man's bike, but it comes with a Thunderstroke 116 that has a ton of power, has this nice little ride command system, has riding modes, really nice suspension setup. So yeah, this is a killer bike. This is a killer bike for anybody who, like, you know, is kind of that in between. Like, you do a little bit of city riding, you do a lot of back road riding, but you also want to take the bike on weekend trips sometimes, or longer trips. This bike can do it all, and do it all really well. Yeah, these little beach style cruiser bars are kind of growing on me. I feel like I have a little bit more control over the bike, and at the same time it's just a very relaxed stance. Yeah, the brakes feel nice and solid. And man, that Thunderstroke 116 on this bike feels really good. Nice power coming out of the corners. Wow, that feels really good. The thing that I love about what Indian is doing is they're flowing down all of their technology to their other bikes. Like, I was just on a Scout Bobber that has the ride command. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo! And I love the fact that the Super Chief Limited has it too. You don't need your phone for navigation. You don't need all that. Like, you can literally pick this bike up and just start doing some cross-country trips. And it comes in at a base price of about $22,000. All right, so at some point I'm gonna change it over to sport mode and see what that's like. So yeah, with this bike, when you're not in the upper RPM ranges, like, the throttle feels so flabby. I'm hoping that the sport mode can change that for me. All right, let's see if I can do this on the fly here. How easy is it? All right, there we go. Sport mode engaged. Just getting used to the sport mode here just a tad bit. Okay, yeah, that feels much better on the throttle. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Thunderstroke 116. Overall, I'm really digging the package. It's got comfortable ergonomics. I love the ride command. The beach bars are growing on me. And it's just a really nimble bike that can do distance touring, that can do, you know, whatever you throw at it, you can handle it. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I thoroughly have enjoyed the demo of the Super Chief Limited. I think this is about as close to a total package that you can get without going, you know, spending $30,000 on a touring machine. You know, if you still want to be able to tour, if you still need some of the accessories and all that stuff, you know, this bike can kind of get you there. It's not going to be a bagger, but at the same time, there's a lot of advantages of, you know, riding around on a 700-pound bike versus a 900-pound bike. So without the huge fairing, you can take this fairing off if you wanted to and just really cruise around town. So I think this bike just has a lot more flexibility in that sense. So I definitely have enjoyed my demo of the Super Chief Limited. Thanks guys for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.